Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Host. I need to find some gas for a boat that doesn't have an engine. Why would you want gas for a boat that doesn't have an engine? Anyway, yes, welcome to The Host. This is from the same developers who made One for the Road, that game that I got rather cheesed off about because it was full of invisible, well, very small keys that were rather difficult to see, particularly if you're trying to witter on about semi-unfunny rubbish at the same time. But I believe this is a more recent project of theirs, and they've said that this one I should try as well. So here I am. It certainly looks a lot nicer, I'll give them that. Does it use the same? Yes, it still uses this same engine, control setup, whatever you want to call it. Right, I can't read that with the bright light on it. What does that say? I seen 1927, something household, established 1927. I can't read the rest of it. I can't read calligraphy very well. Right, okay. So we have on ourselves a nice country house, nice country cabin. This lead it. Okay, I would have thought that would have been found in QA, but never mind. I can't do this anymore. You and me both, kid. We need to leave, because ever since we found that old tape recorder and that creepy-looking book, strange things have been happening. Last night, something came in the dead of night and stood at the edge of my bed. I began to feel a cold chill as I stared at the figure. It never said anything, or even moved. I now fear for my life due to the passing of Alice. So at this point, I must refuse to stay in this cabin another night. Me and Lily will set up camp outside before nightfall. Right. Okay, so you're being invaded by a demon. The demon's probably a bit confused why you don't have a chimney and why you seem to have a gravestone next to your fireplace. But never mind. Can we play the piano? No, I can't play the piano. Oh, that's a shame. We could have referenced the other game. Stop staring at certain things, person, he says, doing exactly the same thing himself as he slightly wonders whether that amulet is in fact just pinned to the painting and as such needs to be interacted with. I can't climb the stairs. I must be some sort of an idiot if I can't even figure out how to lift my own feet up. Oh, I see. I'm one of those types that won't do anything without motivation. Now that I've heard it creak, now I can still fail to go up the stairs. Okay. You'd think after hearing a noise like that I'd be overjoyed to go upstairs. But perhaps not. So I can't seem to have any of these things. So I suppose I'm going to completely abandon my quest for a request of some gas, and I suppose I'll leave then. At least I have a sprint. Ah, the tent of the writer of the note. Okay. And invisible barriers. Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything here I can interact with or read or talk to. Ah, here we are. This might have something useful. Nope. There's some rope and there's a bag, which again I can't interact with. Nicer tent though, much nicer tent. So right, that doesn't help at all. Yeah, I can see there's something interesting going on there, but I can't, get up in its business due to obvious reasons of not being able to pick up my feet more than about 0.5 millimeter, and as such I can't actually climb the staircase. Can I find a ramp? Could I manage a ramp better than a staircase? There's certain jokes about politics in there, but I'm not going to make them. Right. There is no any key in inventory. So I can fix that, I see. Okay, right. So I'm looking for a key to the shed, I'm looking for some gas, and I'm looking for some sort of stair lift, presumably. Excellent. The swamp dweller and the stair lift. Right, so first thing I'm going to do, because I know the pedigree of this game, is to stare at everything really, really carefully, because there will be a tiny grey key somewhere that will be nigh on invisible, but will also be utterly vital to the game. So give me a minute while I do that. Oh, that's progress. We made it up about one step. If you sprint, you can get up about 1 or 2 steps, and that's about the end of it. Okay, that's progress. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I'm learning. I'm slowly educating my character, the Swamp Dweller. Okay, hang on. No. No, sorry. Okay, so sprint up the stairs, and you're fine. Walk up the stairs, and you're screwed. Right, I'm starting to think this game didn't go through an awful lot of quality control. Oh, stop sprinting partway up the stairs, and you're also screwed. Sprint all the way up the stairs. Right, yes. This game seems to have a bit of interesting design, a bit of interesting art, but it could seriously do with a little bit better quality control. But I don't know, maybe it's not a complete version, maybe this is only an early access. If that's the case, then I take back what I said. About a week ago, we've been hearing weird noises coming from the shed. It's where people say Alice hung herself. Emily sleeps in the top bunk, and she tells me she sees things standing in the window. These things even whisper to her. That strange book has been appearing in random places as well. I do know that as long as I keep the candle lit, the things don't bother me. Usually, I read Psalms 91 to keep me at ease until Friday's departure. I honestly can't wait to leave this hellish place. Okay. Chill, my friend, chill. Now, if there's a puzzle that involves me actually looking up that verse, that's going to be very interesting, but also rather annoying. Press I key to interact with keypad. What? I don't know, 91? I don't know, 91? No, I would assume it's a 4-digit code. Don't worry. What in the world was that? Whatever it was, it doesn't matter, because there's no way on earth it will figure out the fact that you have to sprint to get up the staircase, so I wouldn't worry, mate. Unless it's Albert Einstein, we needn't to worry. Okay, well, I get the impression we're going to find someone hanging off this chair in a minute. Okay. Why is there a light in a tree? Why would there be a light in a tree? Anything on the back? Ah. Oh wait. Right. 9, 4, 4, 5. Right. 9, 4, 4, 5. Did that open the locker? Yes, it does. Well, at least the key is visible this time, even though it makes absolutely no sense why you would have a locker that's controlled by a keypad that looks like a large journal in a house which has very, very minimal electricity connections. But never mind. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if things don't make sense. And to be honest, I'm being serious when I said that. It doesn't matter if things make sense, as long as things are fun and spooky. I'll reserve judgment as to whether they are fun and spooky until the end, but never mind. Right. To use that by right-clicking on the door first, and then left-clicking. Some barrels. Well, I should now have the gas that I need, and presumably have my glasses stopped working when I was looking at that loading screen. Right, what does this say? I don't know what language that is, but it's most certainly not English. Sarah, I left the key on top of the racks. I know you asked me to bring up the rest of the candles, but I just can't. This place gives me the creeps. Ever since I set foot here, I felt like something was watching me. Then one day, suddenly the lights began to flicker, so I took it as a sign to leave. I don't think it's wise for any of us to come down here anymore, at least not by ourselves. Okay, so the key's on top of the racks. I'm going to assume by that you're not referring to breasts, and in fact you are referring to something else. Oh good, that's back again. So this seems like an enormously large cellar to have underneath such a small and remote shack. Someone running a pencil over something. Okay, nothing over here. just some blood. Right over down here, even. Oh, hi. You have a very interesting character model. I approve of that. I have no idea what that was. I think someone just threw a small red pizza in my face. Right, there we are. We have a key, even though it wasn't on a rack, it was on a shelf. A few of us came down here as a dare to see who would go the furthest inside. Of course, me being me, I ended up the furthest. I quickly regretted my foolish actions because I swear I thought I'd seen a figure right next to me. If I'm not mistaken, I think the figure took the shape of Alice within my peripheral. At that very moment, I heard the other girls yelling for some reason. "She's here! We need to hide," they screamed. So, me, taking quick action, as I usually do, someone's not big-headed at all, I hid in this place. When my soul feels the time is right, I'm making a run for my life. To whomever finds this note, I know that if you don't see me alive or dead, I either escaped or I was caught while escaping by, well, whatever is down here with us. We're not alone down here. If you're reading this, then neither are you. No, I have you here to keep me company while we're here. Get some light in here. Some slightly more functional light anyway. Okay, I have no idea what that's doing. Or not doing, more likely. But, okay. Hang on a minute, was that there? Oh, I don't think this was open before. Maybe that's what that button did. Friend, Alice. Oh, that was Alice for a moment there because it was a similar colour. But, oh, hang on. Okay, I don't know why I did that. I feel like the more light, the merrier. There we are. Okay, I had to unlock it and unbolt it. Okay, if you insist. A life raft. A life ring, even, whatever they're called. Okay, are we going back outside now? Oh, hi! Hi again. It's like a smooch. That might cheer you up a bit. Probably not, but, you know, it's worth a try, I suppose. Oh, good, it's actually in focus this time. Okay, so we've gone back up to ground level and we're still on the ground. That was a very noisy squeak. I must get you some WD-40. Oh, there's nothing in there. Hi. That was a very cheap jump scare. Never mind. So, what are we doing in this CIA interrogation room? Coming to the realization that it was dwelling among us the whole time, and even taking on the form of Alice while possessing Emily, I now think that Alice was the first one to discover the book in the cellar prior to her passing. I honestly don't know if any of us are going to make it off the lake. I tried to destroy the book, but I felt within my spirit that it was overtaking me. It never wanted to kill us, it wanted a substitute, a body for a soul. My advice to anyone who finds this note, stay away from the book, get as far away from this place as you can, before it's too late. Okay. So there's some sort of butt-stealing demon around, is there? The butt thief? Is that what we're dealing with? What is that? Oh, it's a lever. Okay, it can either go slightly up or slightly less up. I suppose we'll leave it in the position we didn't find it before, and mosey on further on. Okay, what's in here? Oh, another one. Excellent. I suppose I'll put that one up as well, you know, to make it slightly ever so more erect. Fantastic. More fuse boxes, none of which seem to have been serviced in a long time, judging by the flickeriness of these lights. Anything else around here? I don't know, the place is an absolute maze. Sheesh. It's literally just random little corridors and passageways everywhere. Ah, good, the bathroom. Wonderful. What could possibly go wrong in a bathroom? Other than all of the things that have always gone wrong in bathrooms. Okay, good. See, they've learned some of their lessons about keys which are almost impossible to see by putting lights next to them. That's good. I approve of that, most definitely I do. Right, how far back does this put me? That far back. Okay, I can live with that. I would like to ask the quick question, if I may be so bold as to do so, as to what under the sun killed me. because I was very carefully and clearly looking both left and right in order to ensure that nothing was going to sneak up on me. Ah, right, okay, that answers that question. These levers must relieve the pressure on the pipe and redirect the flow of gas elsewhere, shutting down that fire. Okay, if I'd gone around the other way, that would have made a bit more sense, so I blame myself entirely for that one. That also explains what that funny noise was. It was that door lifting up. Okay, so perhaps what I should have done is... look, what? I need to search the area. Okay, you didn't need to throw me around so far as you gave me whiplash, but never mind. Right, okay, now we can go in here and grab that key and then run away very quickly and not lackadaisically the way that we previously did. Right, I have no idea what it was that killed me, but we're just going to assume that it was something that just managed to slip by my peripherals. Hi again, fella, friend, whoever you are, Alice. Oh, come on. Be reasonable. I ran the entire way and I was going in a straight line. I was hardly dilly-dallying. Come on, be reasonable. Oh, screw off. No one's interested in your cheap jump scares. Nobody's interested in a cheap jump scare that doesn't even align with the established monster. What, am I supposed to lead on like a little pathway? Sort of circle around somewhere and then come back to make up a little bit of distance on her, something along those lines? Give me the key, for goodness sake. I suppose I'll blur that out for no particularly well-defined reason. Pocket full of screw you is what you're going to get in a minute, mate. Right, I suppose I'll just do it all over again, shall I? You'll pardon me if I think this enemy's mechanics operate slightly randomly, rather than any sort of, clearly defined way that operates within a set of rules that can be learned, thus predicted, and thus defeated. Yes, I know, I've had this rant before, and I'll try to prevent myself from having it again. What if I go the other way? What if I go this way? Oh, hi. Okay, right. At least I've finally seen you. For that I am grateful. As ugly as you are, I'm grateful that I've actually finally seen you. At least I know the face of my enemy. And I know that you're behind me. Maybe the enemy does operate with an established set of rules and an established set of movement speeds, and their movement speed is just so much faster than mine that I don't stand a chance of getting to the door. Oh well, if I spent 11 hours banging my head against Saber Beast, I suppose I can spend another 10 minutes to bang my head against this for a bit longer and see if we get anywhere. I don't have a problem with things being difficult. I just think there's a very fine balance that you should make things difficult with. Because if you make something difficult, you end up detracting from other possibilities that your game could enjoy. Like, for example, Dark Souls. Dark Souls will never be scary because it's so difficult. Because you see the same enemy 50 million times. Dark Souls can never be difficult because you see the same enemy a million times. You see him again and again and again and again and again as you die a million times trying to figure out the precise way that you do it. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with Dark Souls being monstrously difficult, okay? Not at all. Not at all do I have a problem with that. But if the point of Dark Souls was to be scary, I would have a problem with that because the difficulty would detract from the primary objective of spook. And if the primary objective of this game is spook, then making it monstrously difficult by making the speed of the enemy much faster than yours, then I have a problem with this. If it's just difficult for the sake of being difficult and this is meant to be a challenge instead of a spooky game, then that's absolutely fine. I have a problem with that. But it would be nice if that was at least stated. Do you see my point? And I've played 3 of their games now, and I'm getting a tiny bit sick of this. You get into the control scheme and then you can't get out of it, right? This is like really simple stuff that should be working. Right, here I am again. Okay. Shush. I'll keep trying, I suppose. Right, okay, now. I'm not stupid, so when the noise gets louder, the singing gets louder, she's close, right? No, sometimes you can die and the sound won't start until after you've died. Sometimes that's how it works. Sometimes you'll be running down a corridor and the singing will start up and you think, oh, she's down there. And then you might, I don't know, turn around or something and go the other way. Or sometimes she might just kill you before she's even made a squeak. So consistent. So consistent. So consistent. Am I supposed to sneak, perhaps? If walking wasn't quiet enough, would perhaps crouching serve me better, even though this is monstrously slow? Well, I've survived longer than normal, so I should assume that this is indeed what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to sneak. Okay, I can live with that. A clue would have been nice. No, you're not supposed to sneak either. So walking doesn't work, sneaking doesn't work, running doesn't work. Goodness. There's a joke in there about miners in the 70s striking, but I am honestly too cheesed off to make it at the moment. What about stop-start running? What about running a little bit? So definitely don't go that way. That's at least the one thing that we've learned. Definitely don't go that way. And just randomly that time she wasn't fast enough to catch you. Just randomly. Yeah, I know the last 10 times you did it she was fast enough to catch you, but this time she won't be. I know everything's exactly the same as it was the last 10 times you tried that, but this time she's not that fast. This time she's slowed down. This time she just decided to take pity on you because you're so very dead. She's just decided to pity you. Right, what's that? It's orange. Maybe it's an upside down duck. Who knows at this point? An upside down duck would make more sense. Ah, an open door. A surprisingly tall open door, but no, okay. Oh no, it was a quite literally bloody bath. Looks like this might be the girls. Really? You can recognise people from their entrails? Good for you. I suppose it's a skill. Oh look, I finally got my gas canister for my boat that doesn't have an engine. I'm not even going to take that. No. I'll wait until I've found a source of gas and then come back for it. Oh good, the spooky book that they said I definitely shouldn't read. Is it a book of Hermaeus Mora? Hello, spooky ghosts. Hello, other spooky ghost. Hello, very familiar sound effects. Hi, spooky ghost. Am I supposed to do something? Or... no, that just restarts the game. Okay. I don't know if this is going to go up, because obviously it depends how it looks like once I've edited it. But, in the nicest possible way, I would like to have a few frank words, if possible, with the developers of this game, and I will try to be as fair and as reasonable and as calm and as measured as I can possibly be as I say these things. Firstly, actually, let me check something first. Let me check one thing first. Right, okay, I just wanted to go onto the page of the game for a minute and just see whether this specifically stated it was in beta or it was an alpha or it was still under development or anything like that. But no, according from what I can see, no, it is not. Okay. My first thing that I would like to say to the developers of this game: please, 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 please put your games through greater quality testing before you put them out. Because I'm sure when you were going through this game and you were, checking that things work, you knew how everything worked and you knew what to do. So you probably ran into this very nicely designed and interesting house and you just ran straight up the stairs and everything was fine. But here's the thing. This is what everybody else does. Okay, this is what, new players do. That's what they do. They walk up the stairs because they've just heard that spooky noise and they don't know what's up there. So they're going to walk. They're not going to run. So we walk up the stairs. So if you could do a little bit strong quality control on your games before you release them, just to make sure that there aren't big frustrating issues like that in it. Secondly, well, actually no, just before that, just another tiny point. The boat clips through the floor. I know this is like the tiniest, pettiest thing in the history of the universe to complain about, but seriously, this isn't complicated stuff here. It's like these aren't like quantum computing. This is pretty damn simple. This is making sure that assets don't clip through each other. Okay, now some points about meaning. Okay, like the greater, not like, oh, it has to be really meaningful. Okay, games don't have to be meaningful if they're spooky and fun. But it has to make meaningful sense. Okay, and this doesn't. Because where's my engine? I haven't got one. I've got oars. So why do I want gas? Why do I want gas for a motorboat and an engine that I haven't got? Okay? Again, really simple. Just get an engine asset and stick it on the back of the boat. Why, in this little survivalist's cabin, is there a massive painting of some person from, I don't know, 1600s in France? Why is this here? Right? Because we haven't got complicated lights, we haven't got complicated cooking equipment, we're barely attached to any kind of civilization. Why is there this big random painting that has no relevance to anything that's in the game? Or is this supposed to be Alice? And even if it is Alice, why with the massive painting? Why is there no chimney? Why do we have the one enemy that's the skeletal version of Alice, which is actually really good? I really like the design of that enemy. Genuinely, it's a really, really nice design. But gosh. But then, why do we also have the enemy that's like the ghostly shadow? Is that also supposed to be Alice? In which case, why does it look so completely and utterly differently? Anyway, going beyond that, in this house, where we have very, very simple connections to electricity, and no, we don't have any computers, we don't even have a landline, we're not connected by any telephone lines or anything like that, why do we have this supery dupery high-tech keypad that you have to type a passcode in to then open a wooden locker? I don't have a problem with needing a key code to then put into a thing in order to open a door, which then allows you to progress or to access a key. I have no problem with that whatsoever. That's brilliant. I have no problem with that. That's fine. But do you get that it's kind of a discontinuity, right? This should be in like an MI5 building, and yet we're in some sort of survivalist cabin that could very easily have been produced in like the early 1900s. Right? And then just finally, just in that chase sequence with Alice, why does sometimes when she gets close to you she starts making music and then she kills you, and why do other times she not start making music until after she's killed you? And why does sometimes she kill you really quickly, other times she waits a minute and then she kills you, and other times you can get all the way out? That can't just be because I was going faster, because I was just sprinting the whole time. I wasn't taking a more efficient route. I was just going the same speed, the same distance each time, and she killed me at random intervals, which tells me that her speed is not consistent. Right? Like, it has the potential to be an interesting game. The setup, with the ignoring of the completely ridiculous gas canister, the setup is nice, the environment is nice, the sound design is nice, it's freaky, it's a bit weird, it's mysterious. Okay, I like that. I don't quite get why all of the progression in your game seems to be about finding tiny keys, but I'm willing to let that slide at this point, because key finding exercises seem to be the addiction of indie horror games, and that's fine, and I get it. I'm playing an indie horror game that's made by a small team that is free. Don't get me wrong, I get that. I'm cognizant of that fact, believe me, when I say all of these things. But why is there a light on a tree? If you want to mark this location, why not put the light above the door? But anyway, it has the potential to be something quite good, but it just has these little tiny things that ruin it. The discontinuity between the technology and the house, the needing gas for a boat that doesn't have an engine, the light on the tree, the enemy whose speed seems to be utterly random, and the amount of noise she makes is utterly random. I honestly think the game has potential, but it just needs to be not kicked out the door quite so quickly. Okay, I feel like a bit more time and I will also admit, just to completely make everything clear, I'm not a games designer. I don't know the first thing about programming. I barely even understand how binary works. But I don't feel that if you're gonna say that you'd need to get gas, you should have a boat that has a gas engine on it, or that the boat shouldn't be clipping through the floor, or that there shouldn't be a tree and with a light on it, or that the enemy should be consistent in a way that makes it defeatable if you think about it. If somebody that doesn't know anything about programming can understand that, surely people who actually do it should be able to understand that. So I say all of these things, and I try to say them in the nicest possible way, in the sense that I don't want it to seem like I'm just hating on this game, or I'm hating on the people that have made it, because they seem like genuinely very nice people, and they have some inventive ideas, and they design some quite pretty things. But they seem to make errors in their games that don't seem very complicated to fix, like not having a chimney in a fireplace, or having a staircase that you can only go up when you sprint. You can't walk up it. It's good. It has the potential to be good. But right now, it's just a bit frustrating because it's missing these really simple key elements. It's like if you had a roast dinner, right? Christmas has just gone. Having a nice roast dinner. What do you think are really important ingredients? Maybe a nice bit of meat, some roast potatoes, some gravy, some vegetables, some nice wine, maybe some candles. Lovely dinner. Here's the thing. You've got a lovely roast dinner here. The only thing is you've forgotten the table and it's all sitting on the floor and the dog is eating it. Okay? You need to have the table. And in this case, the table is the really basics of making sure you can walk up the staircase, there isn't this random advanced technology in a really old house, and there's a chimney by the fireplace. Okay? I hope that has been vaguely constructive. I hope it hasn't come off that I'm just trying to hate on the game, because I'm honestly not. This game has potential. It's just missing key ingredients that are so vital to it actually being fun and making a bit of sense. But anyway, that is enough of the host. I hope that this video has served some sort of purpose. But anyway, that's enough of that. Thank you very much for joining me for this. Hope some of the things I said were constructive, so thank you and good night. And also, just before I go, this really needs to be sorted out, okay? You go into the settings, you go into controls, and then eventually... No, you don't even go into controls, because you can't get into them now. Okay. That makes the point even worse. In both One for My Baby, not One for My Baby, in One for the Road even, when you went into the control scheme, you then couldn't come out of the control scheme and you had to quit the game. In this, it was exactly the same. And because there's no saving, you have to go right back to the beginning of it. And now I can't even access the control scheme. Again, this seems like monstrously simple stuff. But never mind. It doesn't matter. That's the end of this.